Hello my friends, welcome back to Keto and the Chaos. My name is Tammy, and on this channel I like to share all my tips and tricks on how I lost 200 pounds without surgery and how you can be successful on your own weight loss journey. So if that's what you're looking for, don't forget to click the subscribe button and ring the bell for more videos like this one to inspire you to get started. My top 3 tips. Alrighty guys, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome back to another update for my 2022 weight loss journey. So far I have not had a lot of success, but I'm still holding hopes that things will turn around. This is the most difficult time of the year for me. This is my dance competition season. I have 5 competition dancers that I am taking care of. And I also homeschool 4 of those children. And so my life is a little bit crazy most of the time. So it's always a miracle when I can accomplish extra things amidst that kind of chaos. This video is going to be about my big trip to Kentucky. So my 23-year-old son and his wife and my only grandbaby moved to Kentucky, and we moved them there. It was right when all of the gas prices went up, and oh my gosh, it was super stressful. The money that we ended up spending, it was much more than we expected, them as well. And we ended up And what we did was we piled all of their belongings into our 27-foot trailer, and we hauled it all the way from Utah to Kentucky. One thing I learned along the way is that Kentucky is very, very, very far away from Utah. Too far. I'm so sad, and I miss them so much, and it was really hard to just leave them there and come home. The trip in of itself was really difficult. The trailer, we have a nice expensive sway bar, but the trailer the very first day, well, I'm going to tell you the whole story before I even show you the footage, but the very first day it literally jackknifed across the road behind us. And ever since that moment, I was so scared the whole time. So needless to say, trying to keep the boredom and anxiety and stress eating under control in a van, driving day in and day out with no breaks, I didn't do the best job. So going into this, know that if you're going to watch this video, you are going to see me eating a ton of food, like a lot of it. I didn't quite say screw it entirely, but if I needed to eat, I ate, and I decided I would deal with it when I got home, which I am currently. But that's another video. So you'll see in this video all the food that I ate leading up to that week, including the dance competitions, which set that off, which started off the whole thing. And then literally, I was on that trip for an entire 7 days, and I don't even think the whole 7 days are in this. And I filmed my 360 on Monday after I got back. So the 360 you see in this video is actually not on Sunday because I couldn't do it to myself. I was so huge and bloated and miserable on Sunday at the hotel. That morning I fully intended to record that and couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So I waited till I got home. So I'm not sure how I'm going to lay this video out, but keep all that in mind. This is going to be a hard one to watch, and yet super fun because I'm going to show you footage from across the country, and I am going to show you everything I ate that I remembered to record, which wasn't everything, I'm sure. And like, we got to try some really fun stuff, but like, it was really complicated to try and find anything different when we were on the road with a giant, basically 43-foot long, 8-foot wide vehicle. I don't recommend. So anyway, good luck to you. Buckle up your seatbelts. Let's get to the footage. guys, or afternoon. It is Sunday. We have been fasting for Ukraine. Typically, I eat around this time anyways, but I guess adding extra prayers. So it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday, and I'm going to have my first meal of the day. Sunday is a carb glycogen loading day. I tend to add some glycogen in the weekend, so Sunday and Monday are my carb days. All right, so I'm starting off with my regular yogurt, same macros as usual, except I'm having 50 grams of blueberries with it. And then my carbs for this morning is a little bit of oatmeal. This is 60 grams of dry oats cooked with swerve and water, and then I put in 11 grams of slivered almonds and 20 grams of dried cranberries, Craisin brand, and I am having a higher calorie Built Bar. It is one of Apple Almond Crisp. That is going to be my first meal of the day. It's Monday. It is 1:30 in the afternoon. Today is one of my carbo load days. I carbo load on Sunday and Monday because I have my exercise classes, my dance classes on Monday night, and I like to keep myself going in and out of ketosis to keep my metabolism flexible. So today I'm having carbs. I am having a gluten-free muffin. This is a Canyon House gluten-free English muffin with 2 pieces of provolone cheese, 60 grams of Lando Frost ham, and an egg. So you can see my egg broke. And yes, I am using a paper plate today. Please forgive me. And a Built Bar today. This is cookies and cream, one of my favorite flavors. And that is going to be my first meal of the day.
between the lines. With our hands tied, can we ever make it right? Breathing air between beginning and the end. Soft focus cut to us the night we met. Started something and we're not going back, like lighting a match, and it's trying to catch like falling so fast, chemicals react. The tide is high but we keep on moving, taking me back, and I'm never the same. I'm feeling at home when I'm calling your name. We're carrying on when it's starting to change. The tide is high but we keep on moving. This feels like scenes that I've seen before. Slow motion caught in the revolving door. But I'm right here, hold the future in my hands, and you come near. This is our promised land. Remind me again how we started something, and we're not going back, like lighting a match, and it's trying to catch like falling so fast, chemicals react. The tide is high but we keep on moving, taking me back, and I'm never the same. I'm feeling at home when I'm calling your name. We're carrying on when it's starting to change. The tide is high but we keep on moving, caught in a thrill, 'cause it's better than real life. Say that you will and I'll give you my time. We can be still and the rest of the world flies. Taking me back and I'm never the same. I'm feeling at home when I'm calling your name. We're carrying on when it's starting to change. The tide is high but we keep on moving. Where are we now? I'm losing grip on all that we found. Remind me how. Been searching in the dark, but here we are. Started something and we're not going back, like lighting a match, and it's trying to catch like falling so fast, chemicals react. The tide is high, taking me back, and I'm never the same. I'm feeling at home when I'm calling your name. We're carrying on when it's starting to change. The tide is high. Started something and we're not going back, like lighting a match, and it's trying to catch like falling so fast, chemicals react. The tide is high but we keep on moving, taking me back, and I'm never the same. I'm feeling at home when I'm calling your name. We're carrying on when it's starting to change. The tide is high but we keep on moving. Something and we're not going back, like lighting a match, and we keep on catch like falling so fast, chemicals react. The tide is high but we keep on moving, taking me back, and I'm never the same. I'm feeling at home when I'm calling your name. We're carrying on when it's starting to change. The tide is high but we keep on moving.
Gazing at the blue of the night, stars are filling up the sky. You take my hand in yours, we'll make our own constellations. I could say how much you mean to me, but it won't mean a thing, 'cause words never sound quite right. Let's find our own kind of language. We have searched the whole world and all around it. Didn't know what we were looking for till we found it. They could say they've seen the highest mountain, different beat. All eyes are on us now. Oh, but we don't care, do we? Oh, I can't imagine a world where anyone loves anyone like I love you. They could say they've seen the highest mountain, bottom of the deepest sea, but no one's ever seen a love like this. They could dig a bowl of baby treasures where it's worth more than anything, but no one's ever seen a love like this. Nobody ever seen it. Nobody ever seen the love. Nobody ever seen a love like this. A love like this. We have searched the whole world and all around it. Didn't know what we were looking for till we found it. They could say they've seen the highest mountain, bottom of the deepest sea, but no one's ever seen a love like this. They could dig a bowl of baby treasures where it's worth more than anything, but no one's ever seen a love like this.
Alrighty, guys, believe it or not, it is 11 o'clock at night. I would just skip food, except for I am starving, and Dave just made me food, so exhausted. Clogging was brutal. I am having kind of like barbecue chicken sandwiches, but these are made with manwich. So 6 ounces of shredded chicken, 130 grams of manwich, 2 ciabatta, gluten-free ciabatta buns from Char brand, 2 corns with 8 grams of butter, and that's all. And that's going to be my last meal of the day. Morning, guys. It is 11. I am leaving to go take pictures of my little grandbaby. They're moving this weekend, so I'm going to do some cute pictures of him in his little Easter outfit or something. Anyway, I'm going to be eating on the way over there a Built Bar, a Quest cookie, and I can't find it, but a Built Puff. That's going to be half of my first meal of the day. Hopefully I will have time to have the second half, because today is bound to be crazy. 10 o'clock. I'm home from dance. It was a late night tonight because we had an extra practice. Came home and I just wanted to have bacon and eggs since I'd just been eating keto treats all day. My carbs are already getting up there, and I decided to just have some good old bacon and eggs. So this is 2 eggs cooked with 40 grams of fat-free cheddar cheese and 35 grams of bacon. And that's going to be my last meal of the day. Alrighty guys, it is a little bit before noon on Wednesday, and I'm about to have my first meal of the day. I'm going to help my daughter-in-law again, and I didn't want what happened yesterday to happen to me, so I made my full meal. I'm having an egg, bacon, cheese, this, and then I'm going to take a Built Bar with me later to the dance studio. So, yeah, that's going to be my first meal of the day. Alrighty guys, it's 8 o'clock. I'm just home from dance and I'm about to have my last meal of the day. I am having 2 chicken thighs and 155 grams of broccoli, and that's going to be my last meal of the day. Alrighty guys, it's 12:15 and I am in the middle of doing some testing for my daughter, so I'm eating in between things. And so I'm eating really quickly earlier in the day, and I'm having my bacon, egg, and cheese. This is mozzarella cheese today, and my yogurt as usual. I'm going to save the Built Bar for later at the dance studio, and that's going to be my first meal of the day. Alrighty guys, it is 10:30. I am busy getting ready for a big dance competition, the first one of the season tomorrow. We actually have 2 different competitions tomorrow. One for clogging and one for lyrical. It's going to be insane. I have no idea what I'm eating tomorrow. I've tried so hard to plan, but all I have really that I can bring with me is yogurt. So guys, warning you in advance, tomorrow is probably going to be scary. Actually, the next few days are probably going to be scary because I have competition, and then I'm leaving for Kentucky for a huge road trip, 4-day road trip. So it's fine. No time to plan any of the food because I have too many other things to do. Anyway, Dave made me spaghetti tonight, but he used the wrong ground beef and the calories were ridiculous, and I was like, nope, not having it. So I'm having me a bowl of cereal. Keto cereal, that is. This is Wonder Works cereal, and I am having 40 grams each of peanut butter and chocolate with 110 grams of Premier protein shake on top. So protein, and more protein, and that's going to be my last meal of the day.
Competition day. Today is a crazy competition day because we have 2 competitions today. We have the clogging competition, and then we have my solo competition. So it's gonna be crazy, and we also have competition tomorrow, and that's gonna be crazy. we're just getting stuff into the car and we're going. So, yeah, let's go.
We're only half hour later leaving than we planned. Luckily, we're supposed to be there like over an hour before. Finn doesn't go on for another hour, and the place is only 15 minutes away, so even though we're late, it's not that bad. You guys ready for this? Yeah. His hair and makeup is all done. Finn's ready in his outfit. We have to do his hair still. Gotta do something with it. Got Jasper and Ruby back there, and we're gonna fix her up.
I'm watching Dance Moms to get my face.
To get her facials worked on, and we are working our way. Okay, but she's fine. We're gonna make her look amazing later when we have time. If we have time, please let us have time.
Here we go. Everybody.
Get it! Woo! Woo woo!
Thank you. Stand up.
Woo woo! Go Benny! Woo! Woo woo!
Next dancer.
Woo woo!
All right. Everybody go for it.
Woo!
All right. Thank you very much.
Woo!
Let's give them a hand.
Woo woo woo! That was good. What's the matter, Jasper? Just need a cuddle? Yeah? Just need a cuddle from your sissy sis? Do you want one? Oh. Now we know the truth.
KNC's Fab 5 request.
Oh yeah. Looking a little comfortable there, huh? You bored yet? I'm not paying attention.
Brenda and Maria, we're gonna switch over here.
Oh my gosh.
If they're still here, we invite them to come join us on stage. If not, directors, we invite you to join us up here for these dancers as well. Championship freestyle male. Second place male senior, Phineas High. And your overall. Let's hear it for the one boy still here, ladies and gentlemen. While the girls go crazy. Medial Thigh.
Second place overall freestyle. Woohoo! How's it feel? That was pretty cool when he yelled, "Phineas High!" Right? Made a big deal because you're the only one who stayed. That's so sad. Congratulations! Beautiful. Remember, take every opportunity to look hauntingly at the judges with your eyes. Good. And you know what? You don't have to worry about that so much with the black shorts. It won't matter as much. So don't stress, okay? Let me see your face. Let me see that face. Yes! Gorgeous.
No, I'm not running back to you now. Said I was all in, then you let me down. But now the world is rising, and all I think about is how far we've gone and to give it up now. You don't know how much I wish I was over it, but all I feel is ghosts of love in your fingertips, in conversations with our friends saying I swear I quit. But you don't know how much faith it took to believe in this, losing our minds in a house that's haunted. All of this time, you were the one I wanted. Losing our minds in a house that's haunted. All of this time, you were the one I wanted. You're haunted. Haunted.
Woo, woo, woo! It's a party in here! Woo! Woo! We finally made it! Where's the baby? Baby's gone. There's no baby. Baby! There he is! Hey, Booby! You having fun?
Yeah.
Woo woo! We're saying goodbye to Sully and Loretta! And we're the last ones here. I just barely ordered my food. I am having a gluten-free chicken burger. I'm here with all my kids and my family. We're saying goodbye to my kids, my grandbaby who are going to Kentucky. And that's gonna be my last meal of the day. kickoff classic clogging competition, and today we have Jasper, Ruby, and Eloise dancing, and it's going to be a long, long day. We are going to be there from about 10:30 till 10:30, maybe 10. But yeah, it's going to be like a 12-hour day, and then I leave in the morning for Kentucky. I haven't even packed anything. It's okay. I'm not thinking about it too hard. We're just going to deal with what's in front of us, which is we got to get Ruby ready. I got to do her hair in Dutch braids, put her costume on, get Jasper out of bed, get him dressed, get them some food, and get on the road. Wish me luck, guys. Okay, we made it! Woo! Ruby's hair did not go super well. It took way longer. Oh yeah, that's right. Don't let me forget that. I have the supplies. We're good. We have time for you because you're last. You're clear in the afternoon, so we're fine. Virginia's just coming with us for this morning for a little while, and then she's gonna take off. I'm gonna go help pack, and I'm carrying my stuff on my lap because the trunk is full because we've got the car today. So, oh my gosh, you guys, wish us luck. If I remember to record, it's gonna be a miracle, but it's gonna be fun.
Novice, beginning, and intermediate boys.
Woo! Go Jasper! Woo woo! He's like, where do I go? Come on, Jasper, scoot, scoot! Oh my gosh.
5. Let's hear for the boys. All right, we're gonna back it up. Let's stay right on this line right here. All right, boys, let's see you clap.
Ready? Ready? Here we
Our
go!
first novice freestyle.
Woo! Ready, go!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ready, go! Scary to get on stage. There's bright lights, there's judges. When they go, we're gonna go crazy. Ready? 5, 6, everybody go!
He's ahead. Woo! Woo!
All right, boys, sit there, smile for the judges. Make sure they have your numbers written down. And we're gonna send you right over there, off to the there, guys.
Yeah, I know. We just got back too. Oh my gosh, how lucky. Woo woo!
So he's our one novice dancer here, but the crowd can make
Maya,
noise.
woo!
Jasper!
Woo! How do you feel? You got Superstar? I'm so proud of you. Give 5. Woo! Woo woo woo! It's like 8 o'clock. I have no idea what I've eaten today, but this is what I'm eating now. It is, what, 9:52. Dinner time, Costa Vida. Alrighty guys, it is 3 o'clock on Sunday. I am still here at home. Weather has prevented us from going to Kentucky. We got up, I did my weigh-in at like 6 a.m. and it was not awesome. And I was so swollen and sore and bloated and I can't talk. And this weekend took a lot out of me, so I'm kind of glad that we couldn't go. But it means that I'm going to miss my daughter's next competition on Friday because there's no way we'll get back in time. But we are going to leave tomorrow morning, so we're having one more day at home. But it's 3 o'clock and I'm about to have my first meal of the day. I'm having a gluten-free Canyon, no, I don't know what, I think it's Canyon House. Gluten-free Canyon House bagel with an egg and some provolone cheese and Lando Frost ham. I'm also having a Built Bar and some cottage cheese with sugar-free Smuckers and blueberries. And that's going to be my first meal of the day. Guys, this is my dinner. I don't know if I'm going to eat anything else, but I'm going to bed because I'm going to Kentucky in the morning. Hey, kitty, kitty. Meow. Hey, baby. You ready to go? Should we go? You want to go to your new house? Yeah, let's go. Just got up because we are leaving today to take Sully and Loretta to Kentucky. We were supposed to leave yesterday, but things didn't work out. So I'm going to be missing Eloise's dance competition. It's very not fun, but it is what it is. I promised the kids I would go say goodbye, and Virginia told me I have to kiss them with lipstick on the cheek so they know for sure if they didn't wake up all the way that I did it. So I guess I better go get it done, get the stuff in the car, and get on the road. Alright, so we are almost on the road. Just waiting for Dave to get in the car and Sully and Loretta to get in their car, and we are heading out. We are leaving at 6:30, almost 6:40. We were planning on leaving at 6, but I figured it'd take us till 7, so we're ahead of schedule. Kissed all the girls, kissed Jasper, hugged Finn. He came down, and Oliver, I hugged him and made, no, I didn't hug Oliver. I said goodbye to Oliver. Oh, I should have hugged Oliver. Sorry, Oliver. Anyway, Oliver's making them some breakfast sandwiches before school because they're up so early. And yeah, hopefully everything's gonna go okay. I'm just praying no emergencies happen, because you know, like, there's nothing worse than being away and having like an emergency happen with your kids and not be able to do literally anything about it. But luckily I've got plenty of kids around here that should be able to handle anything super serious, and if there's anything like immediately serious, I will go to the nearest airport and fly home. So yay, we're leaving. I can't believe it. I've never been across country before. I'm excited and nervous and scared and happy and all the things. Catch you guys on the road. vlogging that. We just had an icy spot here. And the trailer was like, yeah. We were sideways, like it was bad. I bet Sully and Loretta are behind us like peeing their pants, but we made it. Dave was able to get it under control. Ay, ay, ay. This is the worst part of the drive, we think. This is where we would have got stuck yesterday if we'd gone. We didn't go yesterday because this road right here was closed. So, yeah, hit some ice, I guess. And I mean, we were warned there was ice, but it was like out of nowhere. Like, just driving, and next thing you know, but we didn't die, so we can be grateful for small things. Dave says he needs a new pair of pants, but it's all right.
I'm wearing my brown ones, so we're okay.
The cats woke back up. They're not dead. We thought the cats went, like, we were all over the road, and then the cats didn't wake up and go, wow, wow. Yeah, we have cats back there. That's fun. It's okay. But yeah, anyway, thank the Lord for Dave's quick action, because he's real good at driving this thing, which is why I'm afraid to let anybody else drive it or try driving it itself. Oh great, now I got a semi-fastness. Oh, Loretta's calling me. Better go see.
I bet she is.
Better go see what she wants. She's okay. Probably from yesterday, huh? Idea how many calories is in this, but it needs to be in my stomach. Hi.
Hi, big boy. Hello.
Because the first one where they shot it, and then they stole the GoPros, and then he did get it stolen the third time, but they chucked it out the window. Remember?
Hi.
I like the one where he did
You just want to eat it, don't ya?
called and said mail the money.
Can't see it, but there's steam on the ground from the ground heating up the ice. It's a lettuce wrap chicken sandwich, fries. Ooh, it is so cold, which is ironic because just a little while ago there was so much sun, it felt really warm in the car and we turned off the heat, and then we got outside. So we just stopped for lunchish. It's like 4. Eat again. We'll probably eat again in like a little while. There's Dave. He's still driving because nobody else can drive this thing. We got Carl and the baby had food. And now we're getting ready to get back on the road. We're planning to go 3.5 more hours to a place called Ogallala, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, or even close, Nebraska. And that's where we're gonna stay for the night. Get in the pool, hopefully, or the hot tub, or both. Yeah, I'm excited. Let's get on the road.
We're
Still mountains, not large prairies. Yeah. just got here to Ogallala, Nebraska, and my friend Desiree grew up here, and she told me the only thing we're seeing is the water tower, and I just busted into tears laughing because I thought that was the funniest thing anyone would ever say. And then I looked it up online and I realized it's super cool to see at night, which is when we got here, and ironically it's literally right by our hotel. So this is our hotel right behind me, and that's the water tower back there. Let's see if you can see it right there. You see that? So I'm gonna see if I can get a little closer because it's freezing, and I mean like freezing, and I'm alone in the middle of the dark, in the middle of Nebraska without anyone because Dave went to go check in, and I said, I'm gonna go down here and see this thing. So I'm gonna go down here and see this thing. Wish me luck. There it is, guys. Do you see it? So fun. So it's like the legs aren't painted and this is lit up, so it looks like a spaceship. What? That is so cool. Okay, so I did it. I ran down the road in the middle of Ogallala, Nebraska, in the freaking freezing cold, away from my hotel, without my husband or anyone, on a deserted road in the dark to see a water tower that looks like a spaceship. All thanks to you, Desiree. Love you, girl. Boom. Want to see you? We're in the mirror. Look at that. Who's that baby? Who's that baby? Who's that baby? Hi. This is our hotel. This is our microwave and fridge, ironing station, mirror, little table, chair with a table, beds, TV. Very fancy, huh? Do you like it? Do you like it? Yes, you do. Yes. You want stuff on? Oh, yeah. Who's that cute baby? Smile. For a walk in the water. Yeah. Not putting this diaper in. Okay. Whoa. Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Where do you think you're going? I'm not gonna dunk him. I promise. I won't dunk him. She's like, don't drop my kid in the water. Yeah, I know. I won't. Cause they're so cute. They're so cute. Yes. They're so cute. We're going for laps. Should we go for laps? We can go for laps. I am in our hotel with my grandbaby Jasper. Hi, buddy. And I'm having some Mexican food. I am probably not going to eat all of this, but this was what we could find that was open. So this is what I'm having. Okay, it's 11 o'clock. I'm on the road and I'm having another little meal. We're at a gas station. I'm just having some yogurt and Built Bars. This is road trip and trying to keep my weight in control is not easy. Wish me luck. Alright, well, it's day 2. It's really late in the day. We got a really slow start this morning. Woke up and Loretta was sick. She was throwing up. And so we let her lay around for a little while because she couldn't get much out of bed, and Dave went out to check the car and the cats, the poor cats. Freezing last night. They were okay, but their water was like frozen, so you have to know it was pretty dang cold. I think it got to be like 9 degrees last night. It was crazy. But they're okay, the cats, but they haven't been meowing much today, so we think that they may have been exhausted from all the wakeness yesterday and all of the keeping warm last night. They probably just finally like... Anyway, and we went out to check the car, and Dave found that the wheel bearing had thrown the nut. Is that what it is? The cap. The cap came off, and he knew that if we drove on it without fixing it, that it could be an even worse problem. So he had to go find a our auto parts store, get all the supplies, fix it in the parking lot, and then come back. So it was like 11 o'clock before we ever got on the road, and now we've been on the road for about not quite an hour. We're gonna try and stop every 2 hours, but we just crossed over a timeline thing. We call that Continental something? No, we went over the Continental Divide a while ago. That was a high. Yeah, apparently we went over it like a couple of times yesterday, and that was the funniest thing. We're like, isn't there just one divide, but maybe it's two sides of the same thing? Don't know. Anyway, we're driving. The
Nebraska is just miles and miles and miles of nothing. But luckily, there are gas stations along the entire freeway, so we should be able to stop fairly easily for Loretta to run to the restroom every couple hours. Oh, I feel bad. I mean, road trip's bad enough without having stomach pain and trying to fight off throwing up. That's pretty rough. So, got everybody praying for us. Everything's going okay so far. So far so good. Day 2. We're not going to get as far as we originally planned, but we're going to get as far as we can. Not much else we can do. A ham and Swiss on gluten-free bread and possibly some chips of some kind, protein snacks, I don't know. Anyway, it's lunchtime, 1 o'clock. Catos. Good morning. Daddy fed you? Where's the other one? Where's the other cat? Oh, behind its butt. Hey, kitty. Meow. You get it? Good morning. It is day 3 of our big cross-country road trip. It is still bitter cold, even though the temperatures are up a little higher than they were in Wyoming. My hands are still freezing just holding the camera. It is cold. Dave's trying to fix the sway bar to try and see if we can make the van or the trailer not move around so much when people pass us, because he's like his arms are all cramped up from trying to drive, because every 3 seconds someone's passing us and the whole entire back shakes around and like weaves all over the road. And so it makes it really hard to like drive. Also, I'm getting severe motion sickness. I thought maybe I was catching, Loretta was sick yesterday and I thought maybe I was catching what she has, but I really think it's just motion sickness. I can't sleep. So all the things that I brought to do, like to pass the time, aren't working because I can't look at them. So I got one more set of Dramamine. We might stop by Walgreens and get some more, but we may not have time. We've got to get on the road, we're late. We have like a 10-hour drive, which for us is probably more like 12 or 13 ahead of us, and we are leaving like an hour and a half later than we planned. So anyway, welcome to day 3. We just crossed over into Missouri last night. Barely. We're in St. Joseph, Missouri. So we'll be going through, I think, Indiana, Illinois, and then into Kentucky. It could be, if I remember correctly, all in one day. And then we have to go home after that. That's where our friends the Barons live. I went and visited them a couple years ago when they lived in Denver. Now they've moved out here. We don't have time to stop and see them. Sad. Hi, Henry.
Keep left to continue on US 71. Continue for half a mile.
Lunchtime having Taco Bell Powerball. Never had this before. It's good.
In 2 miles, take exit 3 for I-64 East toward Louisville.
Exit 3, Louisville. Mall. Look, it's Macy's. Thought it was an alien, but it's just Macy's. But what the heck is the tuberous water tower? I do not know. But it is very weird. It's a giant tuber. Who's that? Your grandma? Say hi. Hi. So cute. Oh, you look like a cowboy. You look like a real cowboy. Yes. Hi, baby. Hi. We're going to Jasper, guys. Can you see it? No, because it's dark. You can't see it. Oh, there it is.
In half a mile, take exit 57A for US 231 South toward Dale, Owensboro.
Oh, it didn't say Jasper. If it wasn't dark, you could actually see the sign.
Continue on US 231 South for 1 mile.
There we go. Jasper!
And then you'll just have to start up on the
Welcome to Kentucky.
Oh, that was good timing. Jeez. Okay then.
Well, there's that. So I stay on.
Yep. Stay on it. Left, and I came out to fix my ankles. I've been rubbing them and walking around for like 10 minutes. They're so swollen. Got a line right here of swelling. Steak. Hands are all puffy and swollen. Road trips do this to me. I'm gonna put on like 20 pounds, I swear. It's nuts. I look puffy and tired, but hour and a half left, and then 3 days home. It's fine. Cannot even begin to imagine the terror.
If it goes back down.
Oh my gosh, please don't go down. We have to go down that. I'm gonna throw up. I mean, this road is only wide enough for one vehicle, not two. We have arrived. Here is Loretta's cute little house where she's gonna live. So cute. We'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. You're at your new house. You sleep okay? Yeah? Yeah? You still just want my phone, huh? Is that a cool toy? Yeah. Oh, there's a puppy. Look at the puppy. Woof woof. Where's your kitties? You got kitties? Yeah. You got kitties. Puppy. Hi. There's a puppy over there. Hi, puppy. Hey, pups, coming to see us? Hey, pups. Look. Look. There's a puppy. He's like, I'm oblivious. The puppy is licking. The puppy loves you. He says, hiya, baby. Hiya, baby. Hi. Oh, now you see the puppy. Do you see the puppy? Do you see the puppy? Oh. Hello. Hello. What on earth? That was funny. Was that funny? Yeah. Yeah. You want your belly rub?
Madrid, how is Lachlan doing? Is he all better yet?
Yes, he is all better. He has just got like a little cough yet. But
we can see Ronnie's pretty face. Where? Oh, there she is. Yeah, that's great, Grandma. The baby, so cute. Grandma and Dad made the outfit. Finn's joining from seminary.
Is your whole seminary class there, Finn?
Finn, is your seminary class there? Or is it just you? Oh, you're out in the hall? You're outside? That's awesome. He's heading to seminary. He's walking there.
Yeah.
There's Grandpa.
Sully.
Yep. Hi.
Hi. All the way from Texas to Kentucky.
That's amazing. Love it. We're all over the world here, all over the U.S.
I lay my hands upon my child to give him a name and a blessing. The name will be Jasper J. Hyde.
Just a little late.
I couldn't close my eyes. He was too adorable. I just had to keep looking at him. He was just looking
Did you
back.
get the video?
He didn't get fussy or anything. So
Yeah.
He never does. He's like
he's a
the
very
calmest
soft baby.
person ever.
When he's fed and napped, he's perfectly fine.
So true.
Well, your blessing was awesome.
Yeah, you did
Thank
a
you.
great job.
Thanks everybody for coming.
Yes, thanks.
Bye. She's not even gonna wave. This is literally Sullivan's Street. Hey guys, it is almost 5 o'clock on, actually, no, it's almost 6, isn't it? I don't know what time it is. Hate this.
Change the time zone.
Whatever, the time zone. I haven't eaten anything today but one bowl of cereal this morning that I had at Sully's and Loretta's house, and then I didn't eat anything after that, so now I am having a little bit of a protein bomb, some cottage cheese with sugar-free Smuckers and blueberries, and a Built Bar and a Built Puff. That's gonna be my second meal of the day, I guess. Guys, in the car, I grabbed some wings from this local restaurant. There's like 6 wings. And that's gonna be my last meal of the day, most likely. stopped at Walmart. We are in Evansville, Indiana. We're just getting ready to head out for our trip. Day 5?
Yeah, something.
5, I think. We left Sully last night. He saw us say goodbye. We ended up making it to Evansville for the night. Not very far away from them, but about like 4 or 5 hours drive out. Our goal is maybe to hit Topeka, Kansas today. I'm feeling really bad about Eloise. I'm missing her dance competition. Hate that. You have to choose between kids, and when you have a lot of kids, that's what you do, and she understands, but it still sucks. But the nice thing about us missing the competition is that other people are gonna go and support her that normally wouldn't. So she's gonna have people there to watch her that normally wouldn't get to enjoy it, so that'll be great. They're also gonna Skype me, I think, or Zoom me.
Hopefully. Yeah, hopefully
So I can watch it, and if it works, then I'll get to see it right away. I also paid for professional videography because, of course, that's what you're gonna see in this video. So I didn't have to worry. I know a billion people are gonna record it though, so I'm gonna have copies, lots of copies.
The best of the best.
Well, luckily this video place allows you to film, like this dance competition. A lot of them don't allow you to film, but that's kind of why I choose Aspire. It's one of the ones that allow you to film and provide you with very cheap, professional, and nice quality pictures and video. Anyway, we're heading back on the road. Wish us luck. Wish her luck. Today's gonna be hopefully a really good day. The sun is setting, and we just pulled over to watch Eloise do her solo. So we're about to get called. Hopefully, they're a little bit behind on. She's supposed to go on stage, I think, in like 1 minute, but I think they're behind a few numbers. But they're gonna call us any second. And oh, yeah, you can stay right there, Mr. Truck. Well, look, another one. Maybe we'll just get constant shade bombs. That one didn't work.
Now performing number 475, Eloise Hyde.
cold. We had to book a hotel here. We got stuck in the middle of Kansas City trying to find this restaurant in the middle of Kansas City. Our rig does not fit in the middle of cities. We have decided. We keep accidentally ending up in the middle of cities and getting stuck there. We got stuck in Lexington, Kentucky, same way, and now we got stuck in Kansas City. We had to park clear over there because there's no place to park over here, even in a Target and Lowe's and parking lot. No place to park by the restaurant. And literally while I am talking to you, my fingers are freezing to my phone while I carry ice cream that the guy insisted I have for free because it's my first time at the restaurant. Gotta love him. Anyway, we're heading to our hotel. Hair's in my face. Eloise did awesome. I'm so happy. It's been a good day. I don't know how many more days we have of this. Hopefully they will go well, but I just feel like I want to be home now. Can we be home right now? Can we just bleep ourselves from Missouri to Salt Lake right now? I'm seriously considering the airport option right now. Drive past them. Every time we drive past one, I think I could just go there and get a flight. But then Dave would have to go home by himself.
Yeah?
I can't do that to him. It is Saturday. We are still driving. Day 6 of driving and more driving. We have more driving ahead of us and more driving tomorrow, but maybe it's not boring. I don't know. It feels boring to me. Hopefully you will enjoy this vlog. Hopefully nothing crazy will happen to us. We'll make it home safely to the kids. They're having fun, sleeping over all kinds of places. I have no idea what they're doing or what they're recording or if they're even bothering. But I know that the girls are with Crazy Adventures with Coco, and Jasper's with my sister, leaving poor Oliver and Xander home alone to fend for themselves. Hopefully they will survive. Oh yeah, Finn. I forgot about Finn. I had a dream last night that Finn was getting married to this girl that I know who's already married, which is weird, and he didn't tell me until the day before the wedding. Who does that? I woke up pretty angry. Good job, Finn, keeping secrets from me. Anyway, yeah, Finn, he's around. Thankfully, he doesn't have school this weekend. He can take care of himself. Hey, still driving? Driving and more driving. Yeah, I'm gonna be working on this for the competition in 2 weeks. Gotta get it done before I get home, so hopefully, well, at least the sleeves. Hopefully things will go well.
Continue on I-70 West for 14 miles.
No idea.
We don't know what we're doing, so 325.
Just pay it.
I'm good, thanks.
Well, that answered that question. First time on a toll road, paying a toll. We're like, we don't know what we're doing. At least they do. We are officially in Topeka, Kansas. Welcome, everyone. That's what Kansas looks like, guys. Well, this is the freeway, I guess, in Kansas, but it looks like a freeway, just like everywhere else. I don't know, that's one thing. It's like we drive and drive and drive, but it just feels like it's just the same and the same and the more of the same. It doesn't look like it's much different than back home. I pictured like it being super flat, like all across, like no hills or anything. Like you could see for miles, but there's trees everywhere. So it may be flat, but you can't really tell that. You don't see mountains in the distance, but I guess that's the only difference from back home to me. But maybe it's because of the time of year we're traveling, everything is dead. Maybe it'd be better to go like, you know, later in the spring or summer when everything greens up. Maybe it would look way different then.
but it's been kind of boring. Just brown, yellow, brown, a little bit of white, some snow, brown, brown, and more brown. Pretty much the whole way. Maybe I should get one of these for my boys. This is cute. Did you see the girlfriend? The girlfriend. Do you think our boys want a purple girlfriend or a pink one? So funny. Chickens. What about this one? Yeah, you pushed it so good so that it made a really long sound. How'd you do that? You're better at it. No. Oh, you just do it like that. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what to get. This is interesting. Motion sickness and it's bad windy, so we're taking a break, stopping here at the Huddle House for lunch. Hope it's good. We were right for some parts. Flat, tons of, well, I didn't know about the windmills, but like, you know, land going on and on and on and on and on. No mountains. Lines in the sky aren't mountains, those are clouds. The wind is pretty nasty. It's bashing us all over the place. I think it's like 20 something miles an hour winds right now. But apparently, if we would have gone the other way, there's a high wind warning over there, and part of the freeway was closed down for winter conditions again, like it was on the way here. So it's a good thing we didn't go that way, I guess. But yeah, Kansas is definitely more like what I thought Nebraska would be like. But still, it's just like, I don't know, ground, land. Not that exciting. Yeah, I guess. Break the boredom somehow. Why didn't you get one? It's been another hour and a half. Colorado. Another hour. A few more to go. It's gonna get worse. 3 more hours to go. 2 more hours to go? Almost 2 more hours to go. I think. No, I think it's 3. I think we crossed the time zone thing. I don't know. Anyway, a long more time to go. We're blinded. Ooh. Okay, don't die.
Continue on I-70 Business Loop West for 1 mile.
Like it'd been hugged a billion times. I wasn't about to hug it. The sun is going down here in Colorado. That was a really long drive, like as in like boring as heck. We also broke our, we bought earlier in the trip, we bought a thing for the phone to like Bluetooth to the speaker in the car. And we kind of fought over, like, Dave wanted to listen to music that gave me a headache, and I wanted to listen to stuff he didn't like. And then when Eloise's solo came on yesterday, I yanked it out because it was like trying to hear what Josh was saying, and apparently broke the thing. And we've checked every single place that we've gone to so far since then, and we can't find another one in any other place. So it's like not only like sun in our eyeballs, nothing to see but ground, but literally we're listening to nothing. It's like dead silence. Dead silence. I'm just scrolling Facebook, and Dave is staring off into the sun, blinding himself for hours. Anyway, we're almost getting to Denver, and we're trying to decide where we're going to eat and stay the night. So that's what we're going to do before we drive out. It'll probably be dark when we head out, because it's going to take us a minute to decide, because we have to decide right now because we're about to find this split in the highway and decide which town we're going to go to. So yeah, anyway, wish us luck making these decisions. I've been making them, and sometimes they've been really great, and sometimes the decision has been lacking. Like when we got lost last night in Kansas City. I didn't even like film any of the times I got us stuck in the middle of cities like Lexington and Kansas City with this giant rig and no way out but through. I'm not very good at this whole navigation dilly bopper type of deal. But when you sit in the side saddle, that's what you got to do. Anyway, guess we'll let you know what happens, and if not, we'll see you in the morning. To our hotel anytime soon. This is the exit. We gotta get off, and we see there's like nobody moving. quite as bad as the 9-car pileup that apparently happened in Salt Lake over the weekend. But it looks pretty gnarly. No cops are here yet, so we were literally just like...
There's the tire off the car.
Right, 5 more minutes and I can't see it because of the thing, but shoot, I can't see it, but 5 more minutes in Walmart. We could have been in this wreck. Crazy. Oh, I hope they're okay. Has anybody like stopped to like check on them and see if they're all right? Really and truly hope they're okay. Got flares. Lots of people over here hurt too. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
Don't ask me.
Turn right onto Cleveland Place, then turn left. Turn left, then you will arrive at your destination.
That's the parking.
How is this the airport?
I don't know, but could we park out in the outdoor parking there?
Yeah, maybe if they have it there.
Oh my gosh, I literally feel like I want to just start screaming and crying right now. Okay. It's like we're downtown magnet with this beast. Like, it doesn't matter what I do.
Every city.
Somehow we get downtown!
Head east on East Colfax Avenue toward Lincoln Street, then turn left onto Lincoln Street.
This one's actually not that bad. I mean, we hate Denver. We have been down. I don't love driving in Denver, but compared to Lexington and freaking Kansas City, this one is not that bad. I mean, they've got giant buses going down the road that are being super nice and letting us in, and we let them in. And but still, the stress. Okay, so here's what happened. We're driving along, and all of a sudden, it tells us to start going toward downtown. You know, we saw that wreck. We're going the total wrong way. Totally wrong way. And as soon as the sign started saying downtown, I was screaming, "Don't go that way!" And he just goes that way anyway.
I didn't have a choice.
Oh look, we're not the only ones. Hey! Next to each other. Oh my gosh. He's probably in the same boat going, "Where are we?"
What the hell? Who programmed this ass?
It's just like, how are we fitting out the same? Okay. Anyway.
Use the right lane to turn left.
Oh, yeah, let me look at the GPS. Hold on. So anyway, I guess the GPS, now it's going to get real dark because we're getting out of town. I guess the GPS thought that, oh, no light. Why do we not have lights in this car? It doesn't matter. That light is red. You're going in the intersection, but it's fine.
This is not the intersection, that is.
Well, that's an intersection.
But it's not the one for the red light.
It's still an intersection. Okay, anyway, we're on edge. Okay, so let me tell a story before we have no light. No, what? Why? You're turning. Oh, because you're not in the right lane. Oh my gosh. Yep, you're supposed to turn right. There's no way. Oh my gosh, are we ever getting out of here? This is so scary. It's not nearly as scary as the other ones though. I didn't film them because it was so scary. I couldn't even like think straight, let alone film stuff. And I didn't even mention it because I didn't want to ruin Eloise's dance vlog because it was on the dance vlog day. But anyway, suffice it to say, taking this giant beast into downtown is literally giving me PTSD. So when I saw the sign saying downtown, I was
freaking out, but Dave still followed it anyways because I'm like, okay, I guess our hotel must be downtown. So we get down to the literal middle of downtown. Like literally the center of town. And we're like, where's the hotel? It's like, your destination's on the left. No, there's a parking garage. There's a center of town courtyard. There's no hotel. And it just keeps telling us to go around the block. And I'm like, okay, what is happening? This cannot be right. Okay, so when we started going on downtown streets, I was like, no, that can't be right. So I went back to the hotels.com app and I clicked in there directions and I had it reopen it in the app. And it still took us downtown. So I guess it was taking us to our original destination that I programmed to the GPS, which was Denver. Literally took us to the center of Denver. Literally the only place on earth I've been trying to avoid going for the last 2 hours. We pulled over and for an hour searched hotels. I'm in the dark. I'm sorry. I have no way to fix that. We searched hotels for an hour at a gas station way outside of town so that we could find one not in downtown. And we still end up in the stinking butthole of freaking Denver. Gosh.
But hey, the GPS decided we needed to see the center of another town.
I hate the GPS. That's literally the third time this has happened. The first 2 times I just didn't know it was downtown and I actually programmed the places, and then we realized when we got there was no way to park it. And then we had to figure something else out. But this time, no, there was just a GPS doing its own thing. So anyway, we have 20 more minutes to drive now because we spent all that time coming into downtown, and it was 20 minutes outside of downtown, probably right back where we started.
Well, it looks like a pretty happening place down here.
You think?
Yeah,
there's people smoking on every corner.
People partying. It's like the place to be.
Yeah, well, it's not the place that I want to be. Anyway, we'll check in with you in a little while. What on earth? It's freaking closed! Oh my gosh. This is not fun at all. Nope. Nope, not fun at all.
We're going
left now.
Yeah.
Look, that's where we just were with the accident. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna start laughing and get cry. Yeah, but they're all wishing they hadn't gotten those lanes right about now. Yep, they are. Are we gonna be able to get through? Oh my gosh. I thought we were just about to witness another accident. This place is nuts. Oh my heck, finally back on the freeway. What a lovely jaunt. Oh, we finally made it. I think this is the Fairfield Inn & Suites Denver Airport, and we were not by the airport. This is the room, super nice. This is the kitchen-y area and the restroom. And the shower is pretty cool. Not too shabby. But good night, all. I'm gonna get some sleep. I'll see you in the morning. What an adventure. Denver downtown. I never want to see you again. I can't see you at all. What?
Take a tour.
No, we already did that last night. It was awful. And we've already done it before. If you haven't seen our Denver vlog, well, we went a couple years ago. That wasn't enough Denver for me for the rest of my life, and I didn't need that last night. Denver, goodbye. Hope to never see you again, or at least just see you from the distance. telling Dave, I'm like, if you're gonna have a heart attack, please pull over. If you're gonna die, go for it. Get it done. But don't kill me too. Kids need a mama. He keeps grabbing his arm like he's having a heart attack. I think he's just tensed up because he's driving down this steep hills and squeezing. Someday we'll get to stop. We keep trying to find a place to stop. I think there's one here soon, but this road does not have very many stoppy type places. It's a keep it going type of situation. Lunchtime, chicken bacon salad from Maverick with sweet Thai chili almonds and ranch. Oh, there we go. We're almost home. Woo! Utah. Welcome to Utah.
Welcome to Utah.
Well, it's supposed to be hot in southern Utah, and it's not hot. That's down there, that's Moab. We don't want to go anymore. I'm gonna go home, so we're just gonna go that way. Look at this. Eek. Oh, man. I've complained about it since we got it. You've replaced the things many times, and I still never can see. It's something about how the window wipers actually are positioned on the window or something. It's extremely frustrating. Yes. Blue skies. Isn't there a song? I don't know it. Nothing but blue sky ahead. Something like that. Is that close? I don't know. Still, there's hope. Stopping at the top of the mountain for a potty break because I need one. Good old chevron in the snow. Okay, back on the road. We are seriously so close to our house. Like, we are like so close. Right? Like an hour away. Even so close to I-15. So just have a little bit more of this mountain, but the snow has now stopped. And the roads, 5%, oh great, yay. The roads are wet, but they don't seem to be icing up. Your signal's still on. They don't seem to be icing up, so I think we're okay. Luckily, my panic post to Facebook, everyone please pray for us, we're in a storm that literally we were in for like 10 minutes or less. It wasn't even that long. Didn't post because we had no signal where the storm was. And I was able to cancel it and say, never mind. Prayer request deleted. Hopefully it was good to delete that. I see sun somewhere far ahead. Utah's one and only set of windmills. It's the only place we have them. No fields up here. Just one little spot. Top of the mountain, where they can actually do some good, I guess. Well, now not the top of the mountain. Front of the mountain? What'd you call that? I'm not sure. Bottom of the canyon, where the wind starts to pull through. Here's our little field. It's tiny compared to what we saw in other states. Well, out of the mountains, probably about a half hour away from home, getting ready to see the kiddos and be back in my bed and not be driving anymore. I know Dave is ready to not be driving. you were all just like, Jesus, like, after coming down that. Yeah. The sun is setting. You can see it on my face. And we're back in our good old neighborhood, back into good old Utah. So I thought it would be a good time for me to talk about things I learned on my road trip. Okay, number 1. Kentucky is very, 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 very freaking far away. It's so far away. When the kids first told me they were moving to Kentucky, I don't think my brain really could like conceive of how many miles distant they would be. But now that I have driven them twice, it is very apparent to me how very, very, very far away they are. And I don't like that very much. I'm happy for them. I'm excited for them. I'm especially excited for them to be involved in their church family in such a small area with so few people, you know, involved in the church. It'll be good for them. It'll be good for them. I think it'll be good for my son. But I don't want them to be so far away. Number 2 thing that I learned on my trip to Kentucky. Utah is extremely beautiful. I have now seen like a good half of the middle of the United States. Honestly, I don't even know. Is that the Midwest? I think. I don't know. And while I did learn that it's not extremely just flat forever. Well, except for Kansas. It's just not that great. I'm sorry, guys, who live other places. You just can't beat Utah.
You gotta give it.
Okay. It is a crappy time of year to be traveling other places. I'm sure when things green up and turn spring-like, it's probably really beautiful to see like long fields of green and rolling hills and things like that. And what we just saw was brown and endless brown. But when we got back to Utah, and whoa, okay, are we stopping? Are we stopping? Are we stopping? Okay, we're stopping. Barely. Anyway, when we made it back to Utah, I was just like blown away at how beautiful the deadness even is. The trees look creepy and sharp rocks look like from Martian land, you know, it's like we're going to different, it's like you're driving through different planets. It's pretty crazy. Now, Colorado was pretty amazing. I mean, come on, let's be real. Those Christmas trees up there, they were so pretty. But we got us some Christmas trees here. Maybe not as beautiful, but we've got some. And they only have the mountains. They don't have those cool rocks. So one thing I've learned on this trip is that Utah is beautiful, and it gave me a new appreciation to live here. Because sometimes I wonder what it would be like to live somewhere else and why, you know, you only live with your parents, raise you, and you never go very far away. But now that I've been very far away, I'm pretty glad I live in Utah. Speaking of which, the number 3 thing that I learned is that you cannot escape the cold. I was under the delusion that other places were maybe not as cold as it is here. Now, of course, if we were going further down south, yes, I realize, closer to the equator, obviously it's going to be warmer. We kind of stayed in the same general equator-ish direction, so, you know, you got to give it that. I could not believe the temperatures we had on this trip. It was so cold, and the one benefit of it, the cooler back here, it might have been a freezer. The whole van was like a refrigerator. Everything we left in the van could stay nice and fresh because it never got warm enough in here to like actually melt things. Even the warmest temperature I think that we've seen the entire trip is probably 48. And I think that was even, where was that? In Colorado? That was in Colorado. I guess, yeah, it was pretty warm in Kentucky when we were there. Only they had a huge snowstorm right after we left and got like a foot of snow. Oh, look at this. I mean, come on, right? Anyway, it was cold. Like, super cold everywhere we went. Like, burn your face off, melt your fingers into your cold. I hate the cold. So now I at least know I can't move to Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska, Kentucky, Indiana, or Illinois. I think that's all the states we actually drove through. Oh, and Wyoming. Let's block Wyoming from my memory. Ugh, Wyoming. It's all cold. How is it all? It's March 13th. It should be spring. It's cold here too. But now at least I don't feel like if I went somewhere else, I would be warmer. Because I won't. I learned that I can sit and do nothing for a very, 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 very long time. Even in silence, because we had no way to listen to the radio or anything because the MP3 player broke. I learned that my kids need me more than I thought they did. They miss me more than I thought they would. And I also learned that my kids can do hard things even if I'm not there to support them, like with Eloise in the dance competition. Like right now, they're at a youth meeting without me that I'm supposed to be at, but couldn't get home in time for. So I'm proud of them, of their resilience, and I appreciate that they miss me, and I'm ready to get back to regular life. Lastly, I learned that driving cross country is much more expensive than spending a very, very, very large amount of money on a plane ticket. Especially right now with the gas price hike that happened right on our trip. I also learned that Utah has higher gas prices than most of the Midwest. Who knew? I'm not happy about that. But all in all, I feel like it was worth it. Even though we spent more money on this trip than we expected to, I feel like it was worth it to have those last few minutes with my kids, say goodbye, be there when they bless their baby, and I don't know, let Eloise kind of do her own thing without me and not depend on me so much. So it was a great week. We didn't really get to see anything super exciting. Couldn't really do anything in this thing. We did learn that. Yeah, that's the other one. That's another one. We learned that taking a 43-foot, 8-foot wide trailer into most downtown cities is probably not a good idea. I don't recommend. I also learned that's probably a 99.999999% chance that I will never be an RV traveler. And I have a lot more respect for those who do, including my own father, who's currently in Texas on an RV trip that he's been on for a year now. Over a year. I have a newfound respect because I don't enjoy being in giant vehicles on teeny roads with mad people and steep hills or turns, and especially at the very beginning of this journey when our trailer literally fishtailed across the road. Yeah, no fun. I probably never gonna do that, and which is disappointing to Dave because he's always wanted to get a bus and put it into a motorhome and be a traveling family like they see on YouTube. Nope. Sorry, Dave. You gotta marry someone else. You gotta marry someone else? Good luck. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. Fine. Anyway, we're about to be home, and I'm sure the kids are going to be excited to see us. I have no idea the state of my house. It's probably pretty terrible. I've got little gifties to give them, so I'll probably show you guys that. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with us, riding this ride. It's pretty crazy, and I'm glad it's almost done. over. You think? Oh my gosh. Okay, close your eyes, Ruby. Okay, close your eyes. And you close your eyes too!
Yes, all of us.
Don't open them yet. Close. Okay, you guys can open your eyes.
That's so cute.
Okay, so here is yours, Virginia. Close your eyes. Where is it? Close your eye, Virginia. Walk forward, please, and put your hand out.
Oh my gosh.
Well, actually, scoot back a little bit. There you go. Now put your hand out. Okay. Okay, you can open your eyes.
Sweet.
Show them what it is. Show everybody what it is.
A pocket knife. I needed this like 10 times today. Yeah.
And now you have it.
All right, so as you can see, it was quite the journey. It doesn't really show you in the video of how scared I really was. I think I have ADHD. I haven't been officially diagnosed, and I do have a really hard time overreacting to stressful situations, which is something that I really have accomplished toning down in the last 6 years. But when I am faced with fear, I tend to just all of me just... Dave is really good at handling my crazy, but if Dave is seeming stressed and scared, that really sets me off. And there were a lot of times during that journey, especially when we got stuck in Lexington, Kansas City, and Denver downtown, amongst no fault of our own, just a GPS. He was even, like in Kansas City, I don't think I've ever seen him that nervous. He's usually really confident. When we got back from the trip, it took me a few days to like stop feeling stressed. Stop feeling like my body was tensed up, ready to fight. To not feel worked up when I got home. I couldn't stop feeling worked up. Like I felt like I was on the verge of tears for several days. I'm feeling a lot better today, which is why I'm now recording these videos many days later. And I will report that even though these weights are extremely scary, they're definitely mostly water weight gains. So let's just go over them, face the music, and move on from there, right? Okay, so the 9th week was the week leading up to my big dance competition, the very first ones of the season. You saw in the footage that I had 2 on the same day and then another one the next day. It was insane. The days leading up to that, I was super careful. I tracked my macros. I did a good job. My calories weren't the lowest, but you can see the scale went up anyway, despite that. Probably because I was coming out of my cycle week, and I tend to, the weeks leading up to ovulation, I tend to put on water weight anyway. So that was a recipe for disaster. Those 2 weeks. Recipe for disaster. Let's just say. I'm sure you saw, but eek. So the 9th week weigh-ins were 194.4, 194.8, 194.6, 197.2, 196.8, 195.8, 198.6 for an average of 196, which was up 2.8 from the previous week when Dave was suffering from COVID. So if you missed that video, go back over there. Also, if you're wondering about my hernia and you missed that video, it's the one right before this. Talked about the hernia result and about Dave having COVID. Okay. Calories, 2468, 2178, 1934, 1827, 1860, then dance comp. Didn't even bother. Protein for those days were 175, 194, 226, 189, and 161. All great days. No idea. I don't think on the dance competition days, if I hit 60 grams of protein, it would be lucky. Except for when I had the like Cafe Rio or whatever, or the Costa Vida, because I probably had enough in that salad, but who knows? Like, no idea. Oh wait, Candace Brewer totally fed me on the second day 2 things of her protein pudding that has Fage Greek yogurt in it, or protein jello. One protein pudding, one protein jello, and she has recipes on her channel for those. If it wasn't for those, I don't know if I would have survived the day. So thank you, Candace Brewer, for being there for a friend. She literally saw me running around for hours and hours, eating nothing, drinking nothing, and she literally just handed those to her daughter and made her give them to me, and I carried them around with me and just took bites between videoing and running. Thank you, Candace Brewer. Okay, so didn't do an average for the week or anything like that. No idea how that ended up. Week 10, the week of the infamous trip. We woke up on Sunday morning super duper early. I think we got like 4 hours of sleep because we were fully intending to be on the road by like 6 or 7 in the morning. And we discovered that that snowing had started in the night, and that I-80 in Wyoming was closed for winter conditions, and we were not able to leave. My daughter had a dance competition, I'm sure you saw, on Friday, and our original plan was to take 3 days to get out to Kentucky and 2 days to get back and be back in time for that dance competition. I knew the second I saw that that was closed that I was going to miss that dance competition, which made the trip even harder because I do not like missing my girls dancing. I do not. I was looking forward to that competition. I was excited about that one. And it was really hard to just leave all of these things to my adult children to handle. They did a brilliant job. My daughter Ronnie did her hair and makeup. She's her coach anyway. Got her there early to the competition. And because we weren't there, a lot of my family came and supported her who normally wouldn't have come. So that was awesome. And I guess it was kind of a blessing in disguise that way. And so it ended up being a lot longer than we expected. It took us way longer than we expected, and it ended up being a full 7-day journey. Oh my gosh, I was not prepared. And mentally I handled it okay until about Thursday when we started unloading and everything for Kentucky. We were trying to bless the baby because we hadn't had a chance to, and we were trying to coordinate all of that, and I just kind of fell apart. I was feeling really sick because apparently when we ate the Mexican food, the 2 times we were there, I got very sick. I think there must be some gluten in that. I don't know. I don't eat Mexican food a lot, but I was so sick. It was horrible. Like, I cannot even say. Plus, my daughter-in-law got sick on the trip, and we had to spend half the day fixing the van because it wasn't working. Anyway, I don't even know how much of that was in this clips, but it was thing after thing after thing that slowed us down. So my weights were terrible, and as we started going, I realized my feet were swelling up, and I thought, oh dear, that's bad. Luckily, I had brought my compression stockings with me that I had for after my surgery, and I put those on, and then I ended up buying some extra pairs at Walmart and wearing those the whole trip. Problem with that was it kept the water out of my feet and ankles and pushed it up into my midsection. So I swelled up like a giant barrel all around my middle. It was so uncomfortable and so awful. And whenever I looked in the mirror, I was like, oh my goodness. I put my swimsuit on. I didn't even film it because I was just like, oh no. Oh no, no, no. It was rough. So yeah, here were the weigh-ins. I'm sure you already saw them, but let's repeat just for your info here in the end. 198.6, 200.6, 203.4, 204.8, 205.4, 201.8, and 201.6 for an average of 202.3, which was a 6.3 pound gain. So that means in the last 2 weeks, I gained over 9 pounds, a little over 9 pounds in 2 weeks. So we all know, because it was such a quick gain and because obviously I had the water weight in my feet and everything, that's proof that it was mostly water. Now I know I way overate my calories. I estimate I overate my calories probably by 1,000 per day. So I figured it out that I would have gained on that week about 2 pounds of body fat. So that's kind of where I'm using with, I'm doing a cut. So that'll be coming out in the next video, but I am doing a cut to try and get rid of those 2 pounds before my next big dance competition, which is also another road trip. I can't afford to keep going up and up and up. I have to kind of get things back under control. And I apologize for all of the dots on my face. I don't normally record this time of day, but they are coming through the blinds and it's literally driving me crazy, but I can do nothing about it. I've turned on all my extra lights and this one turned off apparently. And there we go, to try and fill it in, but I feel like, doesn't matter where I sit, it just keeps going on my forehead. Okay. I don't even know what else to talk about. Obviously, I didn't get a lot of exercise and I didn't film any of the exercise I did do. What I tried to do is every time we stopped, I tried to do some jogging in place, stretching, walked briskly, you know, especially if we were at like a rest stop area and we parked kind of far away. I was run to the bathroom and then run back. People probably thought I was crazy. I was often wearing my compression stockings over my pants. I looked a sight. Some of my favorite foods that I tried on the trip, I definitely was excited about the Jack Stack's barbecue, even though it was such a rigmarole to get there. I'm not sure how much of that I filmed, but we ended up in downtown Kansas City and panicked and crying and like trying to find a way. And then we found another one outside the city and we're able to go to a different one. And it was just this whole thing that took like a whole hour out of our day and made us basically stay in Kansas City because we couldn't bear to drive another mile. Because of the stress, but it was so nice. They were so nice to us there. The wait staff was great. Dave is super picky about his barbecue. He said the burnt ends were too dry and that the prime rib was a little too something. I don't remember what he said. He had complaints about it because he's like a barbecue like person. I thought it was great. I thought the sides were delicious. It was fun to be able to try the carby sides because normally we would go to a restaurant like that and just have the meat. So I got to try their corn that had like ham added in, and I got to try the baked beans and the potato like au gratin casserole, which was really yummy. Got to try all of their barbecue sauces and eat the sweet pickles. So I really liked going there. Obviously, I didn't partake of any kind of bread because gluten and meat, we do not cooperate. I loved having the Mexican food, but because I haven't had that in ages, but it made me so sick. Like, I was so sick. I cannot even describe to you how sick I was coming home on that last day. It was horrible to have to sit in the car and just feel sick. Twice in one trip. Oh gosh. Anyway, whew. My other favorite thing that I tried on the trip was at this little diner. I got to have some real grits. I don't know if it was from a can, from a carton or what, but we try making grits around here and it's utter failure. So it was fun to have grits. I wish I could have felt better because when we were at Loretta's house, my daughter-in-law's house, her mother had made grits for everyone, but I was too sick to eat them. And so I ended up eating I think Frosted Flakes. It was like the only thing my stomach could bear this thought of. Cereal on this trip was a lifesaver. Whenever my stomach hurt so bad, it was the only thing that I could eat without feeling like it made it worse. I don't know why that was, but man, it was nice being able to have cereal. I haven't had cold cereal since I started keto. That was a huge treat. Obviously I had treats, but it was mostly stuff I'd tried before and knew I liked. But those were the main things that I really liked trying on the trip. The worst part was having to just stop wherever and eat whatever was available. Most places, if I had tried to stay keto, it would have been really hard without lots of planning. And because we just didn't know how to plan for a trip like that, we just didn't. And we got to the point where it was you just didn't want to eat anything except fast food. You just couldn't bear the idea of eating this stuff in your cooler. And it was also bitter cold the entire time. That was a blessing because if anything that was in the van never went bad. So I still had my yogurt and my cottage cheese and all of those things that were still good and yummy to eat the whole entire time. So at least there was that. And my cooler stayed really cold and the drinks in the car stayed really cold and the water stayed really cold, which even though we were freezing to death was a blessing. Anyway, it was quite the adventure. I am super glad to be back in Utah. I don't think that I've appreciated the mountains so much. I'm not appreciating the sirens that are going by my house right now. I hope that's not too loud for you guys, but I really didn't realize how much I would appreciate my hometown mountains and just seeing them again and feeling so like cozy and protected. All that, oh my gosh. Is someone dying out there? What is the deal? It just keeps getting worse. I was really grateful to be back home, and it felt so good to feel like that. I still, every time I wake up in the morning, I look out and I see the mountains, I just smile because it makes me happy. Like, I'm so glad to be home. I miss my kids so much, and I miss my grandbaby so much, but I just saw that they were going to grow as humans there so well. I just really feel like this opportunity is going to be so amazing for my son. I feel like his faith is going to be strengthened. I just feel like he's going to become the man that I know that he is, because he's going to have a lot more responsibility there than he does here at home. And I think that that is something he really, really needs in his life. I am going to miss my little grandbaby more than anything on the planet. It kills me that the next time I see him, he's going to be so big. Luckily, we get to see him in 2 months, because we're going to go to Disney together in May. So I'm going to see him then. And then hopefully we'll see him again around the holidays. But still, it's just like, oh, my grandbabies are going to grow up without like sleeping over at grandma's every couple weeks, or, you know, getting babysat by grandma and stuff. That's kind of hard. But I know that her sister is going to be grateful that she's there, and that they're going to be chickening and I don't know what else. I mean, they've got 75 acres out there to farm up. So hopefully it'll go well for them. But anyway, I'm chatting because this was a stressful week, and I just feel like I missed you guys, and I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad that you're still supporting me and that you bothered to watch this video, because I know it's probably hard to watch where you're trying to probably lose weight, and here am I gaining huge amounts of weight and eating all kinds of things. Yeah, don't forget to check out the About section, because if you are looking for the weight loss information, all of that stuff is linked in the About sections. I have tons of information about how you can get started in the About section, how you can support the channel, and all of those things. Also, if you go to my main channel page and click playlists, I try to keep my videos really organized for you guys so that you can go and find what you're looking for. So if you are looking for the cutting type videos, or, you know, early videos, like when I first started the channel, things like that, you will be able to find a playlist that has what you are looking for. So I'm glad to have you. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe. Everybody give this video a like, and I love you, and I'll talk to you all again soon.